up, YouTube? Topaz Yates back for another review, and this one's to that Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, that Bandana, and I'm giving this one the green light, dude, because this is fire. Honestly, top 5 caliber of the year material right here. And the thing that I like about it the most is the fact that this is the true follow-up to the Pinata album that these two made together, and it's by far better. Now, why is it better? It could be that him and Madlib had extra time to work together to build up their chemistry. It could also be because Freddie Gibbs did get arrested and all of that stuff during the time that he was recording all of this. And you know, when you give someone who's truly talented and truly skilled pain to actually rap about and do things positively with, they can oftentimes mold that into phenomenal music, which is exactly what he's doing right here. And I truly believe that Freddie Gibbs topped the Pinata album. That I was really heavy on the Pinata album when that first came out, man. I definitely enjoyed the new vibe, the new skill set, that this real hip-hop, quote-unquote, being blended with trap rap and all of that stuff, man. It was truly unique for the time. But yet, to be real with you, that project didn't really age all that well with me as time has passed. There's only really one song off the Pinata album that I still listen to this day, and that's that Real, where he's dissing Young Jeezy and stuff on it. Like, that joint goes so hard still to this day. But outside of that, not so much. Wow, this project, there's more songs on here that I can all but guarantee at this point in stage that these songs will age really well and consistently go on. See, I'm a fan of progression. When you do something good, I don't care if it takes you 5 years to do a follow-up to that one thing that's good, as long as it's better, or as long as it's along the same lines at least, you dig, then I'm all for it. And you can tell he took his time and did the follow-up to the Pinata album absolutely right, as this whole style that he's crafting with Madlib is ultimately becoming so much more as we go. Even as, let's keep it 100, this album does start out a bit slow, and I felt as though that it could have disappointed because, you know, there was moments in the beginning of this project where it felt as though they were not on the same accord, where the production was going crazy like Madlib is known to do, and how Freddie Gibbs was rapping to it, man, it really wasn't all that interesting. But as the project progressed, then better songs begun to come out as you peep a bunch of the lyricism that he's kicking that a lot of people can't do, from the wordplay to the vocab to some of the punchlines up on here, man. Absolutely solid of a project. But let's go ahead and break it down with my favorite songs. Starting with the song Giannis, where that production and the way that Gibbs is spitting on here, man, that joint is just fire. Where there's no core concept, and really there's no core concept for the bulk load of this project outside of some of the songs where he's spitting straight up stories and stuff that you need to pay attention to. But there's nothing wrong with this. See, there doesn't have to be an overarching theme for entire projects, man. Like, at the end of the day, what we all want is quality music that we can play over and over again. And sometimes when individuals focus so heavily on, I need this overarching theme, this whole story that all these songs gotta be linked to, then they forget about replay value in quality music. And we see that in a bunch of top acts like, say, J. Cole for a bunch of his recent projects. But Giannis got Anderson .Paak on it, where him, Madlib, and Gibbs are all doing their things on this one, man. With some of my favorite bars on here is how Freddie Gibbs said, I keep the baby 380 on me like DJ Khaled keeps Assad. Like, that was a dope punchline. Or how he's saying all of these rappers keep falling off like Ace Hood's Rolly Bezel. Like, that was a cool bar as well. Like, solid song here. My next favorite song would be that Cataracts, where it has essence of a smoke track, but he's really just spitting on this one dude, as he's saying some cool things in here as well. Like how he's saying, no, it's not Generation Next, this is Generation Genocide, which is a lyrical way to just say these kids out here today really ain't caring about peace. Everybody is shooting each other up. But honestly, my favorite bar off this entire song would be how he said that this is the last supper. You might get hit by those that you were eating with. Well, that's clearly a Bible reference to how Jesus got killed by people that's close to him that was eating with him at the Last Supper. Now, I do have an issue with the beat switch up here though, because I mean, I understand that this is what Madlib does. He always does something crazy, unique with his production and all that, but yet that original bass beat was good enough as is. It didn't necessarily need extras put on top of it with the switch up, on top of the fact that the switch up was not as good as the original, as this is something that I've said multiple times in the past. If you're going to go ahead in the direction of being a dynamic producer, making different beats, adding different beats to other beats, and switching up things, then you have to ensure that every element of the beat is at least equally as hot, or it gets hotter as it goes. Otherwise, you'll get a song like this where you'll get to a certain point, and when the beat switches up, then individuals like myself might want to go ahead and skip past it, but that beginning part of the song is so hot you cannot deny it. My next favorite song would be that Goddamn, where on this song, Freddie Gibbs is somewhat channeling what he likes to call Freddie Kane on here, where this is one song that has multiple actual meanings to the verses that's being had here. Like in verse 1, he's talking about his dead homies and homies that are locked up in jail. And in the second verse, he's talking about his own case that he had to go through that I touched on at the beginning of this joint, where he's all but breaking it down like, yeah, he went out there, he beat this case, which is a positive, but yet the negatives that go along with it is he had to lose over $1 million in order to do it, as far as lawyer fees, as far as getting people to come visit him. And on top of it, that he did get arrested while he was on tour over this bogus charge where it all happened but a whole year before, and then they decided to lock him up after the fact, and they had no evidence. And my last favorite song off this project would be that So Right, especially when he got balls on this saying how he's like Stockton, how he'll drop it off, because this is how he facilitates, as he's drawing comparison to John Stockton, the basketball player who was a master of assists, and he's comparing that to drug dealing, dropping off drugs and stuff, and how he's saying that he's balling without a ball like he's Tommy Shepard, where he's obviously referencing Above the Rim, where that was one of the main characters, Tommy Shepard, who would hoop without a basketball in order to keep his skills together. And another bar that I want to touch on from this song was how he said, yo, they killed police out in Dallas. This is probably fake news, but yet they use robotics to kill him, the R2-D2s. Like, that was a slick Star Wars reference right there to Christopher Dorner, who the police feared so much that they sent in the bomb squad robot and had that joint blow up. And that's the first time that police have ever used such a device in order to get a suspect and kill the suspect. As you know, Freddie Gibbs in this project was being much more socially conscious with it, as he is speaking about a whole bunch of black injustice, not only with his own case, but with cases like this one in particular, where clearly, you know, if you watch the news, all of the white people that go on and kill people all the time, they get taken alive. But us, we get blown up by robots. Now, those are my favorite songs, but yet they're all bars scattered all throughout this project, man, that some of them I did want to reference, like how he's saying that he's a shot caller. He'll put them shooters on you like Dan Tony, who's the coach of the Rockets, in which the Rockets, all they do is shoot the ball. Like, they have no post game, they don't have much defense either. How he said that my trunk got more blocks than Dikembe, where he's talking about drugs, like as far as kilograms and all of that stuff in the trunk. And Dikembe Mutombo was known for blocking the basketball shots and then waving his finger. And another ball that I really liked, and coincidental that it's another sports reference, like how he's saying he got the gas by the pump, like when Dominique used to lace him up, where Dominique Wilkins used to ball with the pump shoes, where you could literally pump up those shoes and they didn't really help you with your ups or anything like that, but yet it was just a cool thing to have as far as shoes go, and they were a popular brand back in the day. I definitely enjoyed all of these balls, man, and some solid songs. Overall, definitely enjoyed this project, better than the original. I'll give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely go ahead and peep out this project. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpads.com, that's down there, to read today's article.